Hey everybody, this is Chad. Into week 3, beginning of week 4. One of the things I said I was going to do last week was show you guys my body type. We had a little bit of problems trying to embed the photo into the YouTube channel, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my shirt off and show you what we got. So before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about, just kind of recap why I'm doing what I'm doing. Number one, I wanted to be healthier. I'm 43 years old. I started out weighing 244 and it just wasn't healthy. Number two was to get off my medication. I'm on a lot of medication, including blood pressure medication, and I wanted to be able to stop taking my medication. And then number three, I've been on testosterone therapy for 5 years, and I've read that the ketogenic diet can actually increase your natural testosterone, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to completely get off of the testosterone shots. I take those twice a week, and I just want to get off of those. So I'm frankly tired of sticking myself with a needle twice a week. So we'll see what happens there. So full disclosure, I do take testosterone. Unbeknownst to everybody that thinks that testosterone, everyone who takes testosterone is ripped and abusing. You're going to see here in a second, I'm clearly not abusing testosterone. So I just want to give that as a warning before we do this. So here goes. All right, so I'm 3 weeks in. This is what it looks like. Not sexy at all. You can see the fat just dripping over the sides here. This is what I want to get rid of, and this is the big reason why I'm doing this. It's hard to believe that this is started out at 244, and this is how out of shape I am. It happens. It happened over time. It didn't happen overnight, but I need to change it. So that's where we're at. Just so everybody, I wanted to bring the testosterone thing up so people don't see me 4 months, 6 months later and say, oh yeah, but he was on testosterone, and that's what did it. So clearly, this is not the body of a bodybuilder, even on testosterone. So I just want to get that out of the way. I want to talk about some of the positive benefits that I've seen this week that have been really cool. First of all, I only lost 1 pound between last week and this week, so I'm now at 236. That would probably disappoint some people. I'm really actually motivated by that because it means I'm actually losing fat and not water weight now. If you guys remember when I was 244, when I went from 244 to 240, that was all water weight. So not something that I was happy to see, but it is what it is. So to lose 1 pound between last week and this week on the diet that I'm on is, I think, pretty good. Looking forward to seeing how week 4 rolls out as far as that's concerned. Wanted to talk about the side effects. Some of the negative side effects, I'm having a very hard time falling asleep. Now I did some research this week, and it turns out, according to Thomas DeLauer, that when you're in the ketogenic diet, you can have a hard time falling asleep. Anytime you have a lack of carbohydrates, as significant as what you have in the ketogenic diet, falling asleep, because it affects your hormones, not having carbohydrates, falling asleep can be a little tougher to do. And I'm definitely seeing that. The other thing, which really isn't a negative side effect, but normally I'm used to sleeping in, especially on the weekends, until 10, 11, even 12 o'clock sometimes. Since I've been on this ketogenic diet, I've had so much energy, I cannot sleep past 9 a.m. It's a little bit frustrating because I want to sleep till 10 or 11, and 9 a.m. is it. I wake straight up. Now the good news about that is I'm able to wake up earlier in the morning than I normally am. So I tend to be a morning person anyways, but getting up in the morning at 6, 7, 8 o'clock has been no problem at all. The other thing that I've seen a huge significant difference in is historically I have had Crohn's disease and IBS, and this has been one thing that has really changed this ketogenic diet. I normally have, as a Crohn's, somebody living with Crohn's, 3 to 5 bowel movements a day. It's very inconvenient, it can be very painful, and on this diet that has completely stopped. I have 1 bowel movement a day now, and it's been it's been the kind of bowel movement that you're supposed to have. So that's been a positive benefit. The other one is very high energy. So much so that my wife and kids have said several times, Dad, you need to tone it down a little bit. You're way out of control here with the energy level. But I will tell you, my energy levels have shot way up. The other thing is, I'm just not hungry anymore. It's very weird to wake up in the morning after fasting all night long and not wake up hungry. And that was probably the hardest thing to get used to. But I just get up, I have a Keto Bomb coffee, and I'll kind of talk to everybody next week about what my diet is, some of the tricks and secrets I've learned being on the keto diet to stave off things like cravings and things like that. I also have not had, especially this last week, any cravings for anything. I was never a big kind of cake and cookies guy. I was never a big sugar guy to begin with, so I don't miss that stuff anyways. But I was a huge pasta, huge bread, very much, very much. My biggest crutch really was orange juice. I was used to having 24 ounces of orange juice in the morning when I wake up, and then 24 ounces of orange juice at night before I go to bed, usually around 11 o'clock, sometimes 11:30. So two really big no-nos that contributed to this. So this is the first week actually I had no cravings for the orange juice, and that was very exciting. I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but my allergies just haven't been bothering me the way that they have been the last 12 years that I've lived in Texas. Anyone that lives in Texas or Oklahoma knows that allergies are a major part of your life. You take a lot of allergy medication, and the last week I just have not had the significant allergy side effects that I normally have. So hopefully that's not a coincidence. We'll see over the next several weeks how that whole thing goes. One of the big reasons, I think I mentioned this in the beginning, that I wanted to do this was because my testosterone levels over the last 5 years have been extremely low. So much so that the range for testosterone is between 350 and 1500, depending on which doctors you talk to. Now, I see a hormone therapist, so that's the range that he gave me. When I had my hormone levels tested, my testosterone levels tested 5 years ago, my testosterone was significantly lower than 350. It was at 95. And that was alarming and shocking, and there are a lot of negative health effects that happen with testosterone that's that low for men. I won't go into all those right now, but just know that it was a lot lower than it needed to be. Since I've been on testosterone therapy, they're in the normal levels. I like to try to keep them between kind of the 750 to 1200 range. I'm typically right around 1000, which is really good. But every now and then, 6 months ago, I went off just to give my body a break. I went off for 6 months, got my blood tested again, and my blood was at 75. So I know my body's not making testosterone. I have read that on the ketogenic diet, it kicks your endocrine system back into action, and it should allow my body to start generating testosterone again. I've even heard people, I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast, he said that his testosterone doubled while he was on the ketogenic diet. So I don't know. The only way for me to know is to stop taking my testosterone and see what happens. So I'm going to do that. We'll see. I don't want anybody to be able to look back and say, yeah, but he was on testosterone, that's why his results were so good. So I'm stopping the testosterone. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited. Hopefully there'll be some positive benefits. Next week, like I said, I'll kind of take you guys into the kitchen, show you some of the tips and tricks that I use while in ketosis. And if you have questions, let me know. That's really it. The one last thing I wanted to talk about was when I lost the 1 pound last week. I have started doing the blood testing. I've been doing it for just about a week now. I test my blood a couple of times a day. I may even show you that next week. I was all over the map. The range is 0.5 to 3.0 millimolars. Anywhere in that range, you're in ketosis. And I was kind of all over the board this week. I went from 0.9 all the way up to 3.9 millimolars. So I kind of was in the the low range and the high range, and we'll see what happens. This week I will be on business travel, so I won't have access to a lot of the foods that I have access to normally. I won't have access to my MCT oils and my coconut oils and my olive oils that I normally cook with in the kitchen. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take my MCT pills. I bought some of those. I have some cod liver oil pills that I'm going to take, and we'll try to see if I can stay in ketosis while I'm on the road this week. I am going to take my testing kit, so I'll keep you guys updated on there, and we'll see how much weight I lose this week. So I think that's pretty much it. Until next time, stay healthy, and we'll see you in a week.